This is BD Daily Tech News Podcast, your daily briefing on tech and innovation. It's 2026, March 6th, and today's theme is simple. AI isn't just in the cloud anymore. It's in trailers, tax forms, city streets, and your phone's app drawer.
So we're doing AI in real life, like the part where it needs electricity, plumbing, and someone named Dave to pour concrete at 3 a.m.?
Exactly. 4 stories. AI data centers and the weird housing boom around them, an ex-AI exec telling people to use Grok for taxes, a city operations AI startup raising $13 million, and a spyware campaign disguised as a safety alert app.
I love that the future is supercomputers, but also a scammy app icon and a golf cart. Let's go.
Story 1. Bloomberg reports the AI data center boom has a bottleneck that isn't chips. It's people. Builders need workers in remote locations for weeks, so mobile housing companies are offering man camps with amenities, trailers, food perks, even golf, to lure labor to the middle of nowhere.
I'm sorry, did we just reinvent summer camp, but for adults? And the arts and crafts station is install fiber and don't die?
Pretty much. The simple tech behind it, these data centers are giant warehouses of servers and networking gear. They require massive power, cooling, and physical build-out. If you can't staff the build, the GPUs don't matter because the building isn't ready.
So the AI race is being decided by HVAC and whether the catering is good. That's humbling. Also, free steaks and golf is the most 2026 recruiting strategy I've ever heard.
Why it matters for normal people. First, it affects where infrastructure gets built, often near cheap land and power. So local communities see sudden demand for housing, roads, and utilities. Second, it's a reminder that AI growth is constrained by real-world supply chains, electricians, welders, transformers, and permitting.
Actionable question for listeners. If you want a career pivot, do you become a prompt engineer, or do you become the person who knows how to keep a data center cool without it turning into a toaster oven?
Unironically, the second one is underrated. Practical takeaway. If you're in trades, facilities, network ops, or industrial construction, AI is creating demand that's less hype-sensitive than app trends. If you're a local resident near new builds, pay attention to zoning meetings and utility expansion plans. Those decisions shape property, traffic, and jobs.
And if someone offers you a data center man camp timeshare, run. That's my zoning advice.
Story 2. Gizmodo highlights an AI executive saying people should have Grok check their taxes and explains how that could go very wrong. The core issue? Language models can sound certain while being incorrect, and tax rules are full of edge cases where one wrong assumption changes everything.
I want to be clear. I will absolutely ask a chatbot to explain a tax term. I will not ask it to freestyle my deductions like it's doing improv night.
Simple version of the tech. An LLM predicts the next token based on patterns in data. It's like a super-powered autocomplete, not a rules engine that's guaranteed to follow the tax code. Unless it's grounded in your actual documents and validated, it can hallucinate numbers, forms, or eligibility criteria.
So it's basically like asking the most confident person at a dinner party to file your taxes. They'll answer instantly, and you'll pay for it later.
What you can safely do with AI. Build a checklist of documents, summarize what a form is used for, draft an email to your accountant, or flag inconsistencies like missing W-2s without letting it invent facts. What you should not do, ask it to decide your filing status, calculate final tax owed, or recommend aggressive strategies.
Actionable rule. If the AI gives you a number, you need a second source. If it gives you a form name, you need to verify it exists. And if it says, "Trust me," you close the tab and go outside.
Story 3. TechCrunch reports CityDetect raised a $13 million Series A. The pitch? Use AI to help cities stay safe and clean. And they're already in at least 17 cities, including Dallas and Miami.
Stay safe and clean. Sounds like what my mom texts me right before she asks if I've updated my phone. What does the AI actually do? Snitch on trash?
In practice, these platforms usually combine computer vision and reporting workflows. Imagine your city is a giant help desk. Cameras, 311 reports, and inspector notes become tickets. The AI tries to detect issues, illegal dumping, graffiti, broken lights, and route them to the right department faster.
So it's basically Jira, but for potholes, as long as the backlog doesn't become the city.
Why it matters. If it works, residents get faster fixes and fewer hazards. If it doesn't, you get false alarms, biased enforcement, or automation theater that generates more citations without improving outcomes. Practical questions to ask your city. What data sources are used? What's the false positive rate? Is there human review? How long is data retained?
And for normal people, if your neighborhood suddenly gets AI cleanliness scoring, I would love to know who gets graded and who gets a pass, because my trash can is not trying to be on a leaderboard.
Story 4. Bloomberg reports hackers targeted Israelis with spyware disguised as a safety alert smartphone app, according to cybersecurity research. The tactic is classic. Exploit fear and urgency, get a user to install something, and then the phone becomes the sensor.
The most advanced hacking tool is still, this seems important. Click it. Humans remain the default vulnerability. Love that for us.
Simple version, spyware aims to gain persistent access, messages, microphone, location, files, often by abusing permissions or vulnerabilities. Disguising as an emergency app increases installs because people feel they're protecting themselves.
Actionable checklist, please, because I can already hear listeners saying, okay, but what do I do tonight?
3 quick steps. 1. Install apps only from official stores and verify the publisher name, not just the logo. 2. Review permissions. A safety alert app shouldn't need microphone or full file access. 3. Keep your OS updated and enable device security features like app scanning and lock screen protections.
And if an app says, for safety, please disable all security, that's not safety. That's a burglar asking you to label your valuables.
Quick recap. AI data centers are driving a physical, housing, and labor mini-boom. Using a chatbot for taxes can backfire unless you treat it as an organizer, not an authority. City AI platforms can speed up services but raise accuracy and privacy questions. And spyware still wins by looking urgent and trustworthy.
My takeaway is, the future is built by electricians, audited by accountants, managed by city dashboards, and ruined by one suspicious app icon. So, balanced.
If you learned something, subscribe and come back tomorrow. And share this with a friend who says, I'll just ask the AI before doing anything important. Drop a comment. Which is the bigger risk in your life right now? AI misinformation, city surveillance creep, or mobile spyware?
And please, if you're going to a remote data center build for the stakes and golf, take a picture of the server racks for us. For journalism. Totally not because I'm nosy.